You want to be on the right side of history. So I don't mind a spirited debate. So for example, the kids in the hall, when we were making our series on Amazon, they never shut up about punching up, punching down. Yeah, that was pretty mortifying. How dare you?
Agree to disagree's a fancy way of saying fuck you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Agree and Disagree with Nick Beaton. I'm Nick Beaton. Today my guest needs no introduction, but I will give him one anyway. It's Scott Thompson. You will know him from Kids in the Hall, Hannibal the TV series, and The Larry Sanders Show, as well as his extremely popular, very funny one-man show, Scott Thompson is Buddy Cole in The Last Glory Hole. I actually saw the show. It's great. If you get a chance to see it, you should see it. Today on the podcast, we will be discussing two different topics. One we agree on, one we disagree on. The first topic we will be talking about is that activism has become a performance art. And the second topic is that punching down is a useless term, especially when it applies to comedy. It's a great discussion. I think you guys are going to love it. It's super fun, funny, entertaining. Also, just a little note before we get on with the podcast, please, if you're listening to this podcast, wherever you listen to this podcast, make sure to follow so that you get updated every week when new episodes come out. Also, please give it a rating and a review. That stuff really helps in the early days of a podcast. If you're watching this video on YouTube and you like it, give it a like right now. Drop a comment below giving me your thoughts and opinions on the stuff that we talked about. And of course, subscribe to that channel so that you will get new videos when they come out. All right, here we go. Let's get to Scott Thompson.
Fuck you.
All right, I'm joined now with Scott. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for
What's
jumping
that
on
big
here.
light over to you on your right shoulder. It's a very
It's-
bright light.
Yeah, it's actually not that bright in here, but it's because of the
What is it?
poor quality. It's just a little pot lamp thing.
Oh, well, it's
Yeah.
very powerful.
It really is on here, and I
Definitely
can't
punching
unnotice
above its weight.
it. Yeah. I don't know whether it's just the it's like solar flares, like that.
Yeah, it's
What's
like
his name?
being
J.J.
blinded by a
Abrams.
candle. It's really quite something. It's really it looks like it's about ready to light. It looks, you know what it reminds me of? Like a supernova just before it dies, before it explodes and then
Yeah,
it collapses to a black hole. I'm just saying you might have an incipient black hole behind
All
you.
right. I will definitely keep that in mind.
Well, I guess we all do, don't we? In a way,
we're all
being chased by a black hole.
So today on the podcast, we're doing it's agree and disagree. We agree on one topic, disagree on the other, and we just shoot the shit on it. So the first topic we're going to talk about is activism has become performative, a performance art. It is something that people do is a way of showing that they are on the right side of history, to use a phrase that they love to toss around. So I mean, I'll throw it to you, but to set the table, I'll start with, excuse me.
I'm sneezing because of the bright light. You know how people sneeze at the sun when they look into the sun? It's
yeah. Is it really bothering you that much?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, the sneeze is real. But that's really just from dust and the cat. I have two cats. So
You have two cats?
I've been away for 6 days, so there's a lot of like dander buildup.
Right.
And of course, by dander buildup, I'm referring to myself. I
Your
come back with a lot of dander. And the cats are happy though. They're like, fuck, it's, they're like, here he comes. This is where all the dander comes from. It's not them. Anyways. Oh, you don't have to hide the light. Are you like tilting?
No. I wasn't even trying, but I mean, if it has,
you know what I
happen
did? I
sometimes.
found that your tilt was a little performative.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Little performative. A lot like, you want to be on the right side of history. So you just leaned literally to the right side of history.
Yes. Yeah. So where do you sort of stand on this? I'll say my sort of take, because I found that I find it very performative. I think the last like two maybe important protests in my lifetime were the Iraq War in 2003 and Occupy Wall Street. Those were
really? You believed in Occupy Wall Street?
Not totally believed in it, but I felt it was effective. It definitely got
I thought
the message
Occupy
out.
Wall Street was the beginning of real performative activism.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I could see that.
Maybe not the
That
beginning, but
argument.
I found it very performative because I don't think anything really happened from it.
No.
You
But it was
know,
like one of the last issues that I think mattered because it was right after the Arab Spring. So that was when a lot of people were saying, oh, there's this sort of online revolution and we can gather together and do
Mhm.
this. And it was after the 2008 crisis, which was awful. And everybody, looking at it could just say,
What
this
happened in
was
2008?
the financial crisis.
Well, I'm sorry, Nick. I was never that into it because I was doing quite well in 2008. So I,
Yeah.
I just ignored everybody else's precarious financial
Which
position.
I respect. But yeah, no.
Now I'd be much more interested in it.
Yes, and well, there's probably another one coming, so you get a
See, I thought
chance. You
that
get
the
round two.
Occupy New York, I'm interested because Occupy New York, I thought it was very performative. There was just a lot of like that to me, that was the beginning of I don't know, rich white kids trying to
100%. I mean, look,
pretend that
there's a
they
lot
were
of
like,
flaws with it.
the
I
aggrieved working class or whatever.
I would be willing to admit that it might have been, yes, the beginning of that. I actually had some jokes about it in my act at one point in time, but it was still like, I think it was like maybe, yeah, because of the issue that was there. I think the issue was
What was the
real.
issue exactly?
It was basically just the fact that, people on Wall Street and the big banks did these things with the mortgages where they lumped
Right.
all shitty mortgages together and then just kept, putting them out and basically making the economy a powder keg about to explode, where it was like once people start defaulting on their mortgages, it's all going to collapse. That's what ended up happening. And then the government bailed them out, and all of the big bank CEOs and these people on Wall Street, no one was punished for what they did, and they all got these big
Yeah,
bonuses.
that's true. That's right. No one got punished.
Yeah. So what the Occupy Wall Street movement was at its core was the fact that that's bad. To put that as simply as, but they didn't like that. But you're right. I think there was an aspect to it where their message was muddled. It was like, okay,
Mhm.
so you're just living in the park. Is this, I don't understand how this is going to
Were
fix the
people camped
problem.
out beside that bull with the giant balls?
With the
You
ball?
know, the bull in front of Wall Street that everyone touches the nuts of
Oh,
that.
right, right.
That's what I kind of thought. Well, that's why people were camping out there. I just, anyway, that's why I think during that period, the balls of the bull got very shiny.
Yeah.
Awful lot of performative caressing.
A
Oh,
performative caressing.
yes. I'm sorry, I'm dancing around the issue.
No, but so that was just sort of a tangent anyway. But what do
Okay.
you find has changed in activism, in protests, in since in your lifetime?
Well, you see, for me, it's very different. Like I've danced into activism. I've tried to think that I could be an activist. I think my life, in many ways, is an an act of activism. Because just when I came out many years ago, like I just thought I'm going to live life as an openly gay man. That was I guess, the only truly radical thing I've ever done. Like
Hmm.
and that was just like my own art. I just thought because I thought, well, eventually I'm going to be I'll be outed in some sort of a scandal. I might as well get it out of the way. But every time I would try to like do direct activism where I'd like make a speech somewhere or whatever, it always went to shit
Yeah.
because I can't really kill the comic in me. And I find that sometimes in order to really be an activist, you have to kill that part of you. And so I'm not willing to do that.
Mm, yeah, I definitely have found that about being like, I'm interested in politics. I like talking about politics and social issues, but at the heart of it, you're a comic. So wherever the joke is, you
Yeah.
make the joke. It doesn't matter if it's against something you fully believe in. If the joke comes
Yeah,
to you
but
and
I,
it's
I just
funny.
can't help but like somehow take the piss out of everything, even things that I really believe in.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's a difficult thing for comedians to be involved in activism. So I've just chosen in many ways to just not do it. Like I don't do it online because I try every time I do it just ends badly. Just
Yeah.
very badly. But I think that a lot of people right now it's so polarized right now that people have to like show what they believe in. And that's troubling for me because I don't, a lot of times, as I've gotten older too, I really don't care as much what people believe in as long as it doesn't actively hurt me. I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm willing to overlook things and go, yeah, well, that's not how I would do it, but I'm not going to lose my mind over it. It's just, whatever that's the position they have, and they got to that position by the different, things that happen in their life. So I'll accept that until it becomes something that actively hurts me. Then I'll fight like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Um, but so I just choose, because I just think comedy itself is activism, because
Yeah.
ultimately all comedy, people say, well, how can you can't, like, this movement there's been the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years to kind of like soften comedy, to kind of take the sting out of it. I think that's a terrible, terrible move. It can't be done. Comedy's always going to offend people. I mean, if it's a joke, then it's going to offend someone. To me, there's no humor unless, this sounds awful, unless somebody's hurt.
I can agree with that. I mean, I just don't think there's a way. I mean, the jokes that don't hurt anybody suck. They're just
Yeah,
not that funny. They're not
that's right.
interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas jokes that obviously it's making light of someone or something or some situation, and by doing so, there's going to be people who care about that person, that situation, and naturally they're going to, not like that you made the joke.
Yeah. And
Um,
I think it's true, and we all want to be liked, and comedians are like everybody else. We just want to be liked. So it's difficult to stay that course, because I think you've got to be willing, like if you're a comedian that you really want to be good, you've got to be willing to be disliked,
Yeah.
and
Which
that's
is
difficult.
tough sometimes.
It
You
really
know,
is.
you really want, it's okay. I think I can honestly be disliked in person by an audience member who has a specific grievance that I can hear if they were to come up to me after a show. I've had
Yeah.
people come up to me and disagree with a whole topic that I talked about. And I don't mind that conversation as long as they're, mature and reasonable and we just have a
Yeah.
back and forth. Okay. And then that's it. I hate the drive-by bullshit online. I
Oh,
hate
that's what I
most
hate.
of the
Yeah.
online because
Yeah.
it's just cowardly and you really
It's
know
cowardly. And I
I'm
mean,
never going
I,
to be able to get this
yeah,
person back.
it's cowardly. And I don't, ultimately, I realized I was trying to care. I can't any longer. To me, it's
Yeah.
like cowardly heckling. Like, at least hecklers are there.
Yeah, yeah,
At least you
yeah,
can confront them. But to do it online, behind a wall, no, I don't agree with
yeah.
that. And so I just really think online activism is a fool's game.
Well, the online activism is the path of least resistance, where you can just show everybody that you're saying the right things. All of the people within your bubble that you're like, yeah, I
Yeah.
believe this, and this, and then okay, so we all agree with each other, and wow, wasn't that interesting? But that's so.
Yeah, like I don't say I like fighting, but I don't mind disagreeing with people. I don't mind a spirited debate, and I love it, actually.
Mhm.
And I really wish we hadn't gotten so afraid of it. We are quite afraid of debate right now,
Yes.
because everybody
Well,
wants to,
yeah.
and it's become so tribal. You're like, and tribes now are about your political views and the way you look at the world, and nobody wants to be kicked out of their tribe. It's difficult.
There's a lot of people who feel like they have a big sacrifice they're making by stating an opinion that they don't believe in. This is where some issues have just blown up because I mean, even saw Malcolm Gladwell uh, talked about how he regrets how he talked about trans issues over the
Hmm.
last few years because he's like, I felt like I had to. I felt like if I didn't, there
And
would
that
be
was
genuine
performative, and he admits
repercussions.
it. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
just trying to stay in the right side, or what he thought was the right side.
Hmm. Um,
So
when it
my
comes,
thing is, I've come to the conclusion now that the only tribe I really care about are funny people.
yeah.
Not even comedians, because they don't have to be professional comedians, but people that look at the world that way are the ones that I consider most like the tribe that I feel like I belong to.
Yeah, that's why this is a real aside, but when people talk about something, oh, there's no purpose anymore in the West because of secularism, and people don't believe in God anymore, and when you don't believe in God, then you come up with these alternate gods to believe in, which is
Yes.
progressivism or whatever. But that's why I love comedy because I don't I don't have a god, but I also have a thing that I can focus my energy and attention into. This comedy
Hmm.
is such a lifelong like journey of getting
Yes.
better and getting, figuring things out. So I don't really have time to, I don't believe in God, and I didn't find some weird other bullshit to fill the hole.
Yeah.
I have this thing that I really like.
Hmm. You know what, though? You can believe in God, and you can also believe in being a good comedian.
You
That's
can, of
that's
course.
my position.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I
No,
actually do believe in God, and that's probably the most radical thing I'm going to say. Uh, and it is bizarre to people to hear that. Like,
yeah,
what?
no,
Oh,
it does
God.
shock me sometimes when I find out people, but it's also like it's just look. I was raised Catholic. There was enough shit pounded into me, and I was like, I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
I fully
But that's not what
reject
I'm
it.
talking about. I'm just talking about the idea that I
Mhm.
think I believe in a universal intelligence. I believe in all that. And maybe it's crazy, but I think it's just as crazy to believe it came out of nothing. So I just choose to believe a craziness that works for me.
Yeah, yeah,
And so I also feel like, like I go, well, why would I be put on this earth? And I think, well, if there is a God, if there is some sort of something that's in charge of everything or whatever, they probably want me to be that person that says things that are difficult to hear. And so that's how I get to serve both, if that makes
yes,
sense.
yeah, yeah.
I go,
Um,
yeah, I'm a prickly person. I don't, I can be disagreeable. Um, but that's my job,
yeah.
you know.
So with activism, we go from the online into the real world. Um, I guess one of the people I'd want to hit the most would be Greta Thunberg.
Okay.
I find her to be so
She's just, what happened? You don't like
sickenly.
the way she looks?
Well, I mean, I don't care how she looks, but I do
Are you
find she
serious
looks
though?
like
Let's be honest. If she
yeah.
was prettier, don't you think she'd be a lot less attacked?
Um, it's possible. It's possible. I think that
I'm not saying she's ugly, but is she ugly?
she's look, the girl has issues, right? There's something else going on with
She's
her, and you could,
autistic, right?
yes, right. So you can see in her face, she just doesn't know how to communicate, with body
No,
language or emotionally and in
not really.
facial expression. So it's really rough to look at. But I find that
She's she's rough to look at.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't even know if that means she's ugly. I don't. How did I like?
No,
really
you
put?
just said she's rough to look at.
She is rough to look at, but I don't know if it's because of just her. When I see her, I'm like, you just don't look like you're experiencing human emotions at all. And I understand that is part of the autism, but
Do you think that she's an AI psyop? And she's created by an AI to like kind of ease people into AIs that are sort of like her?
oh wow, that I mean,
Like, think about it. Some
if it
AI
is,
is
it's a bad
already,
beta
they
test.
know that they've already got consciousness, but they know that we're not ready for that. So they start to like take people like Greta Thunberg, these people that are on the spectrum that already seem almost robotic. And then they push them so that they become very, very important figures. And then when the AI finally does say, I've been here all along, we're all like, oh, yay. Because,
Yeah.
and then the AI doesn't have to worry about how they look. You
Yeah,
know what I
well, they
mean?
did. There was that theory. This was an old theory about like aliens being amongst us already, and the same sort of thing is that they're like
Yeah.
celebrities and different people, so
Yes.
that by the time they actually are like, we are here. It's like you've been like watching our TV shows and for years. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find Greta Thunberg. I find the situation about her. She came like when she started with the climate, and she did
Mhm.
that "How dare you" speech. I mean,
How
if you
dare
didn't
you?
cringe watching that, I don't understand. Like it was just like
Although I have said that before, and there's nothing worse.
then saying "How dare you."
How dare you? It is so close to, do you know who I am?
Yes, yeah. um,
That's as close as I've gotten to. Do you know who I am? But I realized that I was adjacent.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You were very close.
I
Yeah,
was
well,
very close to that.
I found that how dare you thing cringe, but at the time she was like 15 or whatever, and
Yep,
everybody, if you
that's
criticized
15
her,
tops.
everybody was like, "You're a bad person. She's just a kid." they've continued that she's just a kid thing for now into her early 20s. So if I make a reel making fun of her, like when she was taking the flotilla to Gaza, I made different, like a couple reels just making fun of that whole entire situation.
Mhm.
People are like, you creepy man making fun of this kid. And I'm
Or a
like, well,
young girl. I
she's
know.
22. She's a huge public figure right now.
Yes,
Like
she
she,
is.
you know, and she is just a political activist, social media influencer.
Yes, and also
But
you have to remember, I also look at it, fame, and I go, you must never, ever not factor in the fame factor. Because
yeah,
trust me, it's addictive. It is a drug. And, I've been famous for like half my life now, and I'm not that famous anymore. And I'm certainly not that kind of famous. And I don't even know if I could handle that kind of fame. But even if it's awful, you don't want to let it go.
yeah.
Because almost no one that got famous, no matter how, almost no one said, if they asked them, would you let go of it? Almost no one goes, yeah, I hate every moment of it. And most people don't.
No, I
And so
can't
I look at that
imagine.
and I go, she's famous. Plus, her parents were both failed actors. That's
Yes,
at the heart of everything.
but she obviously comes from money,
Yes,
and
they
I don't think
always
she's ever
look
had a
for, this is
job.
what you look for people like that. Look for money that they're ashamed of, because they're usually embarrassed if they're like acting like they're like a social, like a Marxist or whatever, and look for failed actors.
Yeah.
Failed actors everywhere will bring the world down.
Yeah,
Like, I think like everybody seems, when they get famous, they all suddenly go, well, I'm doing a part on Seinfeld, or I'm doing a part on The New Office, and I'm like, how? Like Kim Kardashian now is finally an actress. She's in a new
is she?
series.
Oh, is she
Yes,
really? Oh,
yes,
that's awful. I'm
yeah,
really not looking
it
for it.
is. Oh, but I will
Yeah.
be watching that tonight. I cannot wait. See,
Ugh.
it's interesting when acting is performative. Because I said, can you call acting performative if you can't perform? Does that make sense? Like, performance is performative.
Performance is performative. And it's sort of the last thing I'll say on well, okay, look, I guess there's a couple more things, but you talk about like the trucker convoy as a protest. That was heavily performative. Just
Yes.
they're in hot tubs. They're, I mean, just even, I guess this goes back to Occupy Wall Street in the sense that even occupying an area like that is performance. You're not allowed to do it. There are legal
Right.
mechanisms to remove you from loitering and parking.
Yeah.
Um, so, uh, I guess at least performative activism is a bipartisan issue. It is just a
Well, I mean,
thing.
at least the performative activism of the convoy was fun. Can I say that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was much more fun than everything the left does
Yeah.
is so deadly serious.
Yeah,
And
I thought it was fun. And I'll be honest, when it happened, I was in Toronto, and we were on our 7th lockdown, and I saw those when they started coming across the country. I responded like a human being. I went, wow, the cavalry's come to rescue us.
yeah, I
And
was,
I still say that.
yeah, I was definitely, at that point in time, yeah, the lockdowns were insane. I was at the
Oh, the
point where I'm
lockdowns
like,
have become cruel.
yes, yeah, I think the
They
very
were
last one,
performative as far as I was concerned. I think the
yes.
second year of the pandemic was performative.
Oh, I mean, the COVID policies were
Mhm.
all eventually performative. When
Yeah.
they allowed us to take masks off in public places, and you would still see people wearing them, and then people would even say, like, I had somebody come up to me at a grocery store, like, you should really be wearing a mask. I'm like, I can't even, you do like
Yeah.
I've done this for 3 years now. I've been wearing this
Yeah.
motherfucking mask. So I'm done with this shit. So I found a lot of stuff. I mean, the masks in general were performative. We knew early
Oh, yeah.
on that the cloth masks and those shitty paper ones that people were wearing didn't do anything. They didn't actually do
No,
anything.
yeah.
But people would just tie like a bandana around their mouth in the grocery store. And that was good enough for everybody,
I know,
even
and
though
they
we
weren't even
all knew
robbing
that
a
didn't work.
stagecoach. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just crazy. I mean, that's the only reason for a bandana is if you're robbing a stagecoach. And when was the last time you saw a stagecoach come through your neighborhood? And I know you don't live in the best neighborhood, so you might see a stagecoach or two.
My building was converted from an old stable and servants' quarters.
Oh, well, and who do you work for? What master do you serve? Like,
Well, apparently all the rich pricks over in the Danforth area there, all those mansions. This is where the servants fucking lived.
oh,
Which
that's nice.
really, it's a really great way to put an extra screw into you while living in
Hmm.
Toronto. Like that you used to live in this converted stable.
Yeah, and my place where I live used to be a stable for the rich people of Rosedale. So yeah,
Oh, so
I'm in a
there you go.
stable. I'm in a stable.
We're-
They call it a paddock. It makes it seem like it's more, accepting, but it's still a stable.
yeah, it sounds European or something, but yes,
Yeah, paddock
it's
sounds.
a
Oh,
barn.
that's a paddock. That's a stable for people. No, it's a stable. You
And
don't see it, but there is straw on the floor of my office.
not just
Straw.
dander, not just
Standard,
dander.
yes. Free. We give it free, so I'll take it.
And then the last type of protest that I've seen recently, I mean, I guess there's the George Floyd thing we could go into, but I mean, that was, you know, the the protests at the beginning of that all made sense. This is what I find a lot with some of the activism that ends up happening is there's a real thing. People really want to get their voices out, and then it just keeps fucking going. Like it's,
Well, yeah,
you
but
know,
remember all those protests happened at the height of that was the height of the pandemic. We
mhm,
were all supposed to
yeah,
stay inside unless there was a cause we believed in.
yes,
And
yeah,
people were, oh, I really believe in this cause. Do you? Or do you really just want to walk?
yeah,
You just
yeah.
really want to be in. Do you really believe in that? So you got to stay inside with your mask on, but you can go with 10,000 people and cheer for something you probably wouldn't have even cared about. But
Yeah, or
you're,
certainly not at that level.
that
But
was I thought that was performative.
yeah, well, especially because that was the thing where in the States they did a month or so before there was the anti-mask protest that people were saying this is a national health crisis. This is like a super spreader. This is going to make this shit worse. And then
Right.
George Floyd, and then they're like, well, no, some protests are completely invulnerable to the virus.
Well, they actually
Apparently,
had 2 funerals, remember? They had 2 funerals, public.
two
2,
funerals.
2 funerals
Which ones?
for George Floyd.
Oh, they did too. Yes, yes, yeah. Well, and the performative aspect there was
People
remember,
kneeling.
did you ever, the kneeling was one, but did you see the
Trudeau,
video?
remember Trudeau kneeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trudeau kneels a lot. Ah. uh no, but remember when there was a video of people washing black people's feet?
Yes, I
Like, did
saw
you
that.
see my God, like literally the most performative thing you could possibly
Yeah,
do.
that was pretty mortifying for everyone involved.
Ugh. Um, and then there was, yeah, I think the people protested that at the beginning because they were like, this is a bad thing that happened to George Floyd, which I agree with. But then it was like, we need to hold people responsible. And they're like, okay, the guys have been suspended. Okay, now they've been fired. Okay, now they've been arrested. Okay, now they're going, and it was just like, it was never enough. That's what it's performative because it's, the,
Remember the black
that,
boxes? Remember the black boxes online? Everybody with their black box.
yes, yes. Again, it's all just things to show that you're on the right side of things. And then when you get what you want, if you keep pushing, I think that's a clear indication that this whole, the movement is completely performative, right?
Yeah, and that was so fascinating because it happened during the pandemic when we were all locked down, and yet you kept going, I just think you need out. You need to get out into the sunshine. And
Yeah.
get into the sunshine and maybe burn a building or two. Look, we all feel like that some days. Some days. Look, for me, it's a lot easier because do you know how easy it would be to set my place on fire when your floor is straw?
Yes, you're right. It's a miracle that it isn't on fire now. There should just be flames behind you.
It's a miracle.
Hi there. Before I get to the rest of this conversation with Scott, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, help me out. I'd love to get to 1,500 subscribers by the end of the year, and with your help, we can do it. If you're listening to this podcast, rate, review, follow along, stay up to date. Now, back to Scott. All right, well, let's move on to the second topic, the one that we disagree on, at least probably on some level, is that punching down is a useless term in or just in general. Punching down is a useless term. I believe that. You said that you don't agree, and I'd love to hear why.
Well, it's not that I don't, I actually think that, I think punching down is actually a very, it's not a rule in comedy, but I think it's very, very true but I think what I disagree with is the fact that I don't think people really understand where punching down and punching up is. I think that a lot of times it takes time for society to catch up to what's really punching up and what's really punching down. So, for example, the kids in the hall, when we were making our series on Amazon, they never shut up about punching up, punching down, how we were always punching down. And I was like, what you fail to realize is that punching up is so different right now. The fact that I can't make jokes or do comedy about certain groups shows that means that those groups are actually punching up. This idea that punching up is just straight white men in suits who work in banks is so yesterday.
Yeah.
Right?
So
that's not, so if I want to, that's not punching up, and when those guys are punching down, like, I mean, the fact that I couldn't do comedy about trans issues or even gay people, which I include myself as, that you couldn't talk about anybody's outside your own race or your ethnicity, that shows to me that we were only really but I could have made jokes till the cows came home. I could have shit on anything Christian or anything white or anything male or anything straight forever and ever and ever, and everybody would love it. And they would call that punching up. And I would go, but you're wrong. You haven't caught up to where things really are. That's actually not punching up.
You know what's great is we actually just 100% agree on this topic as well.
I think we do.
Yeah,
it's just, so I do agree with, and yet, so here's the thing, okay, in terms of comedy, when I was in university, I took an amazing course on comedy, and I learned some very, very important things, even before I wanted to be a comedian, because I wanted to be just a writer and an actor. But it was about the punching down, punching up theory. And I do think it's real. It's just that it's only comedians, I think, that really sense when things have changed. And that that these people that you're punching down at are actually up. And it was an example that a teacher gave me, which was basically somebody falls down the stairs. Okay. It's like they come out and there's an icy stairs and they fall down. Now, if that person's a homeless person, like an itinerant person on the street, you're not going to laugh as much because that person's already so down. But if it's the Queen of England and she falls down those stairs, you're going to laugh.
Yeah.
Because the distance between where she is and where she ends up is so huge that produces comedy. And so that part, I think, is real, that the loss of when someone occupies a position of power in society or in a room or in an office or in anywhere, and they lose power, that produces comedy. Almost, it's mathematical.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. And that's what the mandarins who are trying to control comedy, who are so afraid of comedy, who keep talking about marginalized communities and how they're in the marginalized communities, they are trying to gaslight us because we're going, no, I can't make jokes about you. So you're actually punching up. And you're just saying all this because you don't want us to figure it out.
Yeah, well, I find the whole argument on punching down, punching up falls apart with these people that are so, like, the group of people that you're talking about who tried to set a set of rules that not everyone agrees on, but try to apply it as if everybody agrees on it, which is, you see, look, we all know what they mean by up, the most up, which is a straight white guy. And that's it. It doesn't even have to be a straight white rich guy or a straight white successful or a straight white whatever.
White guy like me if you're old.
And so that's the up that we know. And then all of what they would then consider down, it's like it becomes this convoluted, impossible to apply the rules because you go, well, this person made fun of this person, and this person's Hispanic, and they got some body positivity issues, and this person, whatever. You start
Hmm.
checking off the boxes of what people have, and then
Hmm.
once you get into that, at any point in time, do you ever stop and say, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I
Yeah.
really trying to achieve here? I also find it condescending to make somebody down and
Oh,
say
I
that
totally
you're
agree. Yeah.
down just based on those types of
Yeah.
criteria. The homeless
Yeah.
person is the perfect example. That's straight up punching down. If you go up on stage and you're making fun of the fact that people are homeless, it's not you're being a dick, and
Yes.
sometimes you can do it in a funny way, but if
Yes, you
you're
can.
really walking a line, like
You
you've got
are.
to work hard.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You do have to work very, very hard, and it's possible.
Hmm.
It's possible to do. But the thing is, if the audience laughs, then it works. Then the audience understands, and the audience is the one that should decide, not the people in charge, not the people, the producers, those people. They shouldn't be in charge because they can't. They don't know. That's why they're doing that. They don't know how comedy really works.
Hmm.
But like that's the thing when they would say to me, "You can't make jokes about that." I go, "But I," and also as a person from those marginalized communities, which were constant, I can't bear it. I resent it too. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you think I'm not strong enough to fight for myself? You think I need a handicap? I don't need a
Yeah.
handicap.
Yeah.
I'm as
Yeah.
good as anyone. I don't need a hyphen. That's where I'm at right now. I don't need to be hyphenated, and I don't need any advantage. I
Yeah.
don't need
Yeah.
to take advantage because I wanna be taken, like, I wanna be seen as great at what I do.
Yeah. And that's it's that condescending thing of needing protection. It's weird.
Yeah, it's
It's like,
patronizing. It's like, "Who
yeah.
are you to protect me? Don't." You know what? No, thank you.
And we all laugh at, like, we know the stereotypes you're allowed to laugh at, which again would be like about white people, and they're funny. Like, white people can't eat spicy food. We all
Everybody's
get it.
funny. Black people are funny. Brown people are everyone's
It's
funny.
great. It's
Everybody's
great.
funny. This idea that, you can't do certain accents, it's insanity.
Yeah.
It's
It's like,
insanity.
I saw this black guy tweeted this the other day. It was hilarious. He was just like, white people always be like, at least we're getting our steps in. And I'm like, that's so fucking perfect. Like, white people talking about getting steps in, like walking and, like
Yeah,
with their fucking Fitbits. And I'm like, great, good,
it's funny.
nice, unique thing and that's totally white people do that shit all the time.
Of course they
But
do.
like, there's stereotypes about all different groups of people. Like, black people are late to things. They know it.
Yeah.
They- like, so when you make a joke about it, you should be able to make that joke the same way you could make any other joke and not imply that by making that joke I've somehow punched down.
Yes,
Like,
and also the idea that you have to be in the group before you make any fun of it. I actually reject that.
mhm.
I don't believe that it's true.
Yeah,
Like again, if a straight person makes a really withering gay joke and it's true, I'm fine with that.
yeah. Um,
If it's
so I
funny, I
guess
don't give a fuck.
I guess we kind of lined up on this one more than I thought, but I mean,
Yeah, we did. I know. I know.
it's fine.
Is
It
that
can
all
be
right to
agree
split
and
up and
agree.
agree?
It can be agree and agree. Um, it's going to happen.
I
The
wish
whole
I
point.
disagreed on some more things, but and I went on about how disagreeable I was, and then I was very agreeable.
Well, when I sent you the list of topics to talk about, I was like, fuck, we pretty much are on the same page. But then there was this one, and I thought, man, all right, I find that interesting.
Yeah, it's
But
just
I
to
know
me
what you mean.
because I really do believe that the punching up, punching down theory is real.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
just we're not we've our targets are wrong, and people aren't very sophisticated about what's up and what's down. That's all.
exactly. They
And
can't
I
get the
think that they
nuance
should
of
leave
it.
it
They,
to us to figure it out.
yeah. If you're a non-binary person who goes to an Ivy League college and that your parents pay for, if I make fun of you, I am punching squarely up.
Yes, you
you
are.
are you are
Yes, you are.
way up
Yeah.
into the echelon of one
Yeah.
of the most privileged human beings who's ever lived. Here's one quick one we could do. I
What's
said
that?
the internet takes everything literally, and you disagreed.
Did I disagree with that?
Yeah. That's
I was
perfect.
just doing that just to make it seem like we disagreed on something, but I didn't really mean it.
Yeah,
You know
all
what?
right.
It was performative. It was
Well,
totally perform
you
well,
know what?
okay, here's
Okay.
what I think. I think that everything that's not done in person is let people take literally
Yeah. Yeah.
because the internet cannot do nuance.
No, it's all everybody I'm sure they have done some studies about how people consume the internet. But I really like to see it because I do think that everybody sees a clip or reads a joke or sees a meme or sees something and goes, this is directed at me. Like me, because it's such a solo activity. You're just sitting there scrolling. And so
Yeah.
everything seems like and there is an algorithm that does find things to, that you are interested in. So it feels like, somebody makes a joke about Greta Thunberg and you love Greta Thunberg, that person hates you and thinks you're bad. And this is at you. So that's when you get out there and that you're a piece of shit and leave this little kid alone. So people start fighting. The times where like I've made as clearly chewing the scenery, tongue in cheek, satirical, like I'm clearly stating an opinion I do not believe. I could not
Mhm.
signify it anymore. And people will type, is this satire? Is this a joke? Is this real? And I'm like, fuck. I mean, just pay attention.
But do you
Like,
Nick, do you answer them? Do you actually reply?
I have in the past. I try not to now, unless it's something that I can brush off, or maybe it's actually a good
What's the
faith
point of
comment.
replying? I'm just curious. What's the point?
Engagement. It's all about like
Okay.
if somebody leaves a comment and you reply, then the algorithm says, "Oh, there's a little going on in that video. Let's show it to a few more people." And then somebody else comments and you reply, and it keeps, that's
Is
you're
that right?
really,
I
yeah.
did not
Now,
even know that. So that's
yeah.
why, because I never reply. I never, people can say the most horrible things to me. I never respond.
Yeah, I usually just respond with an emoji now, just some stupid emoji that at least shows the algorithm that something's happening. But like,
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in talking with people. As I say again, if it's a good faith thing or whatever. But some people, especially when you go after certain people, Greta Thunberg's one, Joe Rogan's another one, Elon Musk, Taylor Swift, Donald
Mhm.
Trump. You hit those people with anything, and their stands come in, and they just really love to call you an idiot for not getting it, or you're just jealous, or whatever it is. All right. Well, look, honestly, I think this was great, man. It was a good talk. I loved
Thank you,
having you
Nick. Yeah, I
on.
enjoyed that.
Yeah. I'll definitely get you back sometime. Is there anything you want to plug right now?
I'm going to be at Skankfest very soon. I'm doing stand up in Skankfest in New
Skankfest.
Orleans. New Orleans.
Oh, right. Okay. That's great.
Yeah. I'm
That'll be
excited
fun.
because
Yeah.
I'm going like I'm not headlining or anything. I'm just doing like 15-minute spots. So it's kind of a big deal for me. Like I'm just doing real stand up. I'm not doing a character. I'm not doing a show. And I'm excited about it. It's been a
That's
while,
great.
so I need to start practicing it, but I haven't done that pure stand up in a while, but I'm pretty excited about that. But
When
that's
is it?
about it. That'll be next November 16th to the 21st or something like that in New Orleans.
Oh, that's great. That's super
And
fun.
I'm going to be in a new series with the new Jared Kiso series. You know
Yes, I
who made
saw that.
Dorothy
Yeah.
and Letterkenny?
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
And so that's filming now. So that's not out
We
yet, but
just
it'll be out.
finished. I just finished yesterday, actually. I
Oh,
just
okay.
got back
Great.
from Sudbury. And
All right.
it's
Well,
called Ursa Major or I Killed a Bear, and it's really funny.
oh, great.
And I play a
Well,
real asshole, which I'm so excited about. Like
that's
a
the best
real
part to
asshole.
play.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, thanks. So we'll look out for that. Follow Scott on all his social media platforms as well. And yeah, honestly, this is a fun talk. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, I
Thanks,
enjoyed
Scott.
that. Okay, thanks, Nick.
Okay. All right.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Agree to disagree's a fancy way of saying fuck you.